Okay, we're back with America's Dumbest Laws, continuing in the series of America's Dumbest Laws. And we have to do this for people that don't understand the Most High's laws, the Almighty laws, and we compare them to man's law. There's no comparison. Look at Deuteronomy 4 and 8. You see, Christians, they like to go against the laws of the Most High. They like to speak against. They like to say it's done away. But when you compare this law to man's law, here is the no comparison. And what nation? Tell us, Christians, what nation is there so great? What nation is so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law? There is not another nation, Christians. Listen, Christians have their Bibles, but they don't know what's in it. They don't live by Deuteronomy 4 and 8. They believe man made better laws than the Most High's laws, and this is completely false. Deuteronomy 4 and 8 teaches us there's not another nation on this earth or will ever be on the earth that will have righteous laws, more righteous than this law. Moshe say, which I set before you today. All right, the last time we stopped on Delaware. We got Delaware, so let's see what's after Delaware. Again, they are in alphabetical order. Florida, home of the flesh-eating bacteria. Florida, no selling children. This is a law in Florida. Who's gonna sell their children? Who's selling children? No selling children. We know that kids can be annoying, but please remember that in Florida, it is a felony to sell your children. You've been warned. You live in Florida? Here is your law, your dumbest law. No selling children. Some things are no-brainers. Georgia. Okay, now, look at this. In Georgia, you can't eat fried chicken with utensils. How dumb is this? If someone doesn't want the grease on their hands, they want to use a fork and knife, they're breaking the law. See, again, you breaking laws and you don't know it. You're not a law-abiding citizen. Any American after these series, you're going to understand you are not a law-abiding citizen. It's impossible to keep all their laws. You think people in Georgia know this? We grew up all our life. We never heard anything about this. We knew people from Georgia. Never did we hear anything about this. They don't want to get their fingers greasy, so they use utensils. They use a knife and fork. And you breaking the law. For chicken choppers in Gainesville, Georgia, finger licking is not a suggestion. It's mandatory. It's mandatory. You must eat your chicken with your fingers. Thanks to a 1961, this one's hard for me to read without laughing. Thanks to a 1961 law added to the city code as a publicity stunt, it is illegal to eat fried chicken in the poultry capital of the world with anything other than your fingers. All right, you don't believe this? Watch this. And we try to let people know, you go to other countries, you better know the law. You get fined, you get arrested, you get deported. People that come within the borders, we have to let everybody know. Make sure you know the law. This was automatic for me. Before we left, I know it's automatic. Older people knows certain things. The younger people, they haphazardly go by. They still young and dumb. They gotta mature. They haven't matured yet. That maturity, when you hit your 40s, you begin to mature. And so some of us, we're beyond that. And so we've been matured, and there's certain things we just know to do and know not to do. wisdom kick in. And I do understand. I've had family members over 50 years old, and they act like they're in their 20s and dumb as crap. Don't mean to be funny. They just did too many drugs or drank too much and their brains is fried. And they still acting like kids. So when you go to another country, make sure you know the laws. A tourist was arrested for such a chicken fucking violation. They're trying to be funny here with the words. In 2009, but somebody got arrested. I see people coming within the borders. We recently had a lady, I'm sorry to report, that she said things that are illegal. You can't come over here saying any and everything you want. She said things illegal. She got deported. She's banned from the country. She's banned now. And so they will kick you out and ban you from the country just for saying something you don't know it's against the law. You say it in America all the time. You come over here, you can't say that. Many of our people, I've seen many others, they've done this, but they don't know what they're doing. Hawaii. All right, this one is not dumb. It shouldn't even be on the list. Hawaii, I know you got something dumber than this. No billboards, no advertising. Hawaii's natural beauty is an advertisement unto itself. So they don't want, it's illegal to have billboards with advertisement. This is a good one, but it's been in effect since 1927. And at the bottom, these aren't so much dumb laws as laws that make us feel dumb or not thinking of them first. So I understand why they put it here. Idaho. Oh boy. Idaho. No cannibalism. Now, many people know that there are people in America. Jeffrey Dahmer, he ate people. This is what he did. I'm sorry. This is a crime. This is a crime that's, most people ain't doing this crime, but there are some people that are out of their minds and will think to eat another human. Idaho is the only state. It's the only state to have an active ban on cannibalism. Technically not a crime in the rest of the nation. So you can, in the rest of the nation, you can eat people. It's not illegal. Just like adultery. Adultery, not illegal. You can commit adultery. The Most High Law says you commit adultery, you ought to be stoned. You ought to be put to death. Cannibalism is defined as a non-consensual consumption of another human. You didn't consent to be eaten. Meaning, we guess, if you get your buddy's permission to eat his tenderloins, again, they're being funny here, the feds can't stop you because he didn't break any laws. Illinois. No fancy bike riding. Just dumb. A bike is a bike. Let them ride their bikes. No fancy bike riding. Listen here, city slicker. Gainsbourg city law strictly prohibits fancy riding of any bicycle on the city streets, particularly riding with both hands removed from the handlebar. You know, we did that as kids. We took our hands off the handlebars and we just, I've never seen anybody fall from doing this. We were expert bike riders. If there's something happened, we quickly grabbed the wheel. We were okay. Both feet removed from the pedals or any acrobatic shenanigans on your fancy velocipede. And they know he's being funny. Nobody has these anymore. These old bicycles with the pedals on the front tire. According to the Gainsbourg police officer, I suspect the trick riding ordinance came during a time or concern about bicyclist safety and perhaps crashes involving bicyclists. It's seldomly enforced. Indiana. proper black cat etiquette on Friday the 13th. What the? What if you don't have a black cat? What if the black cat is just in the neighborhood and it's just a stray black cat? Is this enforced then? So, in the municipality, the French Lick Springs, all black cats must wear bells? Again, this is a stray cat, so you got to put all black cats must wear bells. Why is this around their necks on Friday the 13th? Hilarious. The rule was introduced October the 13th, 1939, as a war measure to alleviate mental strain on the populace, and has technically been enforced since. It's been in effect ever since. So let's go out. You got a black cat. Make sure you put. Who's gonna do this? Who's doing this dumb stuff? America's dumbest laws. This is what you're listening to in every state. Just flat out dumb. Iowa. No faking your butter. No faking your butter. They had to come up with something. People were telling them this is real butter, and in fact it's margarine. And so they came up with a law. You cannot fake your butter. And if it's fake butter, you have to tell them this is fake butter, and it's a misdemeanor. In the state of Iowa, it's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 30 days in jail and a $625 fine. You think they're playing? Dumb. Concerned about the butter. Kansas. No snowballs. You live in Kansas? Now somebody gonna say, what do you mean no snowballs? No snowball. You heard it. It's against the law. It may be still illegal to throw snowballs in Topeka, Kansas. Illegal to throw snowballs. How many times as kids we grew up throwing snowballs? Snowball fights. Thanks to a weirdly worded law. That's another thing. Their laws are worded. I actually seen the U.S. law book in a dream, and it was extremely thick with a bunch of mess. It was just awful, completely awful. It's what it is. And you want to say you can't keep the Most High's laws, but we can keep all of this. We can keep all this. You don't even know what's in it. In your mind, it's just a couple hundred laws, and we can keep every last one of them. But the Most High laws, we can't keep them. You see? Do you see the trickery going on here? Do you see the deception? Someone has deceived you. You've heard a Christian preacher holler for years, you can't keep all the law. You've heard this, and it came from different ministers. And now you're lawless. You are lawless, and we're going to show you how you're going to be in trouble. According to the scripture, you're going to be in trouble. We have to show you scripture that you don't know. Scripture, they took out the Bible. It was in the Bible, in the Roman Catholic Church. So you don't need to know this, so they took it out. We're going to bring it back and show it to you. This word is still in effect. The Most High's word is in effect. It's unlawful to throw any stones, snowballs, or any missiles. We heard this before. At any person or property in Topeka, an ordinance. Look at this. That formerly Mayor Bill Bunton publicly flouted by tossing a whopper at a snowy tree in 2005. He was upset with this law, and so this is what he did. I'm going to have an ordinance drawn up to repeal this dumb law. Listen to what he's saying.